Here are 3 core values for permanent weight loss success. Episode 60. Hi, I'm Clarinda, and you are listening to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. Happy New Year! I want to begin by expressing my gratitude for your listening support. I know many things are vying for your time and attention, so I'm honored that you're enjoying the value I share with you to help you feel light in mind and body. Maybe you've already clicked on the 3 dots to share with a friend or rated and reviewed this podcast. Thank you. You might think that your action isn't significant, but it is so helpful and appreciated. It will help other people find this podcast who can then benefit as well. Let's start this year off strong by sharing the love. For today's episode, I put some thought into which values I would classify as the top ones for permanent weight loss success. Keep in mind, I'm not referring to temporary weight loss or quick fixes. Even by us taking the time to explore values, it indicates that we want to go below the surface desire of just wanting to look better as soon as possible. We're ready to do this with a more deliberate focus. The first value is honesty. I don't believe we're intentionally being dishonest when we say things like, I don't know why I can't seem to lose weight, or I really don't eat or drink that much. We might be comparing ourselves to others who are saying the same things and chalk it up to our hormones or age. We dive into this a bit more next week on one of the free sessions where we debunk the 3 myths keeping you from feeling light. The link to sign up is in this episode's description. Being honest is necessary to help you get clear. Now, this is not a time to be judgy with yourself, okay? You have to be very deliberate with this decision to not approach it from judgment. Instead, choose curiosity or interest, because if you think you're going to judge yourself, you won't even attempt to do this. And who could blame you? That feels terrible, and we avoid anything that's going to make us feel bad. My self-judgment pops up many times a day, but I get to choose whether I want to listen to her or mute her. I'm actually getting good at muting her now, or at least turning her volume down and turning up the volume on what I want. When you can see what you're thinking, feeling, and doing for what it is, and often that takes an outside perspective, and then realize that's part of the problem, then you're more open to seeking a solution. You may have tried various things multiple times, so now you might be open to a new solution, or approaching a solution that worked for a while with a different mindset and giving it more time to become part of your new way of living. To help you get clear, ask yourself, what am I believing right now? And how does that feel? What do I want to believe for this new year? Be honest about what health issues you are at risk for now, or will be if you continue with the same thoughts and actions for the next 5 years. I helped one client do a check-in a couple of weeks ago on what her future self would be experiencing and what her life would look like if she continued to do what seemed comfortable right now. She said these fears often pop up, but she had always blocked them by distracting herself as she was too scared to take a look at what her health or life might look like. With support and creating a path for her to take one step at a time, she felt immediate relief. It no longer feels like an ominous, unknown cloud is looming over her. With being honest, she's made some deliberate and doable decisions. She feels hopeful that she is taking control of her life and health now. Another helpful question for clarity is, what do I value, and why are my current results out of alignment with what I value? This requires patience and a willingness to look at why you aren't currently doing something and explore the thought or belief behind it. Our thoughts are what fuels our motivation to start doing, continue doing, or stop doing. Doing this work will benefit you in such a valuable way. You can also ask, what do I really desire? Like, if you could wave a magic wand or skip all the rough parts, what would that be for you? That's one of the ways I help you bridge the gap between what you really desire and what you have now. If you didn't think you could fail, what would you write as your resolution, intention, or goal for this year? Be honest. Starting January 15th, there'll be a community of women learning, practicing, and being supported with the common goal of making this a lighter and healthier year. We'll practice individually as well as together, creating a daily plan to get aligned with our values and goals. It requires time, practice, and coaching support to help you integrate it into your new, lighter self-identity, but it's so worth it. I love the difference it has made in my life, even during the most challenging stage of my life. I'm adding that in case you're discovering this podcast for the first time. So, if it sounds too good to be true, let me assure you, it is true and possible. I made a decision 8 years ago to not just survive the unexpected circumstances I was facing, but to thrive. And now I have the pleasure and honor to help you and others do the same. Sharing a taste of what is possible in these short episodes is like giving you an appetizer before the main course. There are empowering insights and shifts that will change your life in the very best way available to you. Whether you need a renewal or if this Feel Light, Mind, and Body approach is totally new to you, I invite you to join me for one of the free sessions where we'll not only knock out these myths holding you back, but you'll also get a chance to see what the 3-month virtual program is about and ask any questions. We set it up to be anonymous, and you're not on camera, so you can feel comfortable joining in and asking any question. If you're listening to this in real time, the first session is this Thursday, but click on the link to see the other dates and times as well. Everyone is welcome. Many join in for a second or third time, as they say they always leave feeling more hopeful and motivated. The second core value for permanent weight loss success is kindness. In order to be honest, you need to feel safe that you're going to be kind in the process and not be too hard on yourself. It's not a time for shame and blame. It's a time to be kind to your past, present, and future self. When you are honest and kind with yourself, that is true self-love. If you receive my weekly newsletter, you'll love the tool I'm sharing today on this subject, along with a couple of examples. And if you sign up after listening to this episode, feel free to email me back and ask for this self-love tool. Kindness has a tone as well. How often do you say, I know better, so why can't I do better? You can ask that in an honest, inquisitive way, which is kind, or you can ask it with a tone that screams disgust, blame, impatience, and judgment. Here's a helpful fact that you can consider as a way to talk more kindly to yourself. If you already had all that you needed for letting go of the extra mental and physical weight, then you would be at your ideal natural weight and feel more peaceful. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You simply need proven simple strategies, tools, coaching support, and connection to make this weight loss experience more achievable and sustainable. It can be an emotional and lonely journey trying to go against what that primitive brain is so good at doing. Its job was to keep you safe, comfortable, and enjoying pleasure back in the day when we were in the cave. That part of the brain hasn't evolved with us. But when we work together in the Feel Light program, you'll learn how to tap into and maximize the amazing higher part of your brain that will give you lasting results. The third core value for permanent weight loss success is celebration. The beginning of a new year kicks off with an overall collective energy of hope for a new beginning. Maybe you feel weary of doing that every year, or your current circumstance doesn't leave you feeling like celebrating. Well, I'm celebrating you being here, as that took a conscious decision on your part, and I encourage you to celebrate this small win as well. It's celebrating the little wins that fuel us to get the big wins. Now, if you love the New Year energy and always start with a big bang, I want to help you with that as well. You can begin by celebrating the planning, which gives you that dopamine hit, the feel-good emotional response. Getting out your calendar again and adding some gold stars or check marks all feel fun and rewarding. But without truly realizing why these practices start being missed and understanding where the excuses are stemming from, it will be another year on repeat. That's one of the reasons why many people don't even bother with New Year goals. They're tired of feeling disappointed and frustrated with themselves later. The answer isn't avoiding that feeling. It's discovering the root cause for the missing component and unwinding it with coaching support so that this time can be different and worth the time, money, and effort. Not every client I work with maintains the first time around because without fully realizing it, they learn the new information but gradually revert to what has been so familiar. I know that my brain continues to offer me the most practiced thoughts and actions automatically. We've practiced this for years. As I said, it's just what it does. My life coach can quickly see that and point it out to me when I'm not fully aware of it. I get a reset and keep going with renewed motivation, which feels great. This third value of celebration is what I've been working on this year. At the end of the day, it's so easy to think of what we didn't accomplish and not celebrate what we did or didn't do. So think of this past week. What is something you can celebrate, big or small? Start with that. Then, if you want to continue practicing these three values, honesty, kindness, and celebration, which are essential for permanent weight loss success, make sure you create your next win by joining the free session, 3 Myths That Are Keeping You From Feeling Light. It takes time, practice, and a qualified outside perspective, whether that's me or someone else, to help keep you in alignment with what you want and out of that old bandwagon mindset. Remember, if it didn't require anything different than what you've been thinking and doing, then you wouldn't need to get back on a bandwagon. So be kind and compassionate to yourself, not critical. And know that I am in no way criticizing you. I want to help you understand so you won't make it mean that there's something wrong with you when you don't follow through or ignore the opportunity to grow and become healthier. Feeling light in your mind and body is something I want everyone to be able to experience. And by the way, if you resonated with the bandwagon mention, check out last week's episode 59, titled, What If You Could Live Like There Was No Bandwagon? Practicing this feel light mind and body way of thinking and acting all year round, including holidays, keeps making it easier and more rewarding. I gained 1.2 pounds over Christmas, and I'm back to my natural weight today, December 29th, as I record this. I didn't even do some of the things I had allowed for, like having something chocolate on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. No feast or famine thinking was happening. I didn't feel deprived. I enjoyed a good-sized bowl of chips on Christmas Eve, but I decided against the chocolate because I didn't want it to keep me awake, as I'm sensitive to the sugar and caffeine. The 2 days that I ate food I don't always eat were the 26th at my sister's. You know how it seems to feel harder when you're around family. And also on the 27th, I had a short period of emotional eating after taking Brie to the airport. I was quicker to recognize what I was doing, and with honesty, kindness, and another tool from the program, I was able to move through wallowing in my sadness in a supportive way that felt loving. You may have watched the 8-minute video I shared on my social media platforms titled, The Power of Your Words. With the Feel Light Mind and Body approach, I didn't even feel like I had messed up on the 26th when I enjoyed 1.5 slices of pumpkin cream cheese bread. It was a 10. I was being honest with myself and didn't make it mean that I'd thrown in the towel on my usual healthy eating. I knew that would be my most challenging day. So in my plan, I had allotted a dessert of my choice. I chose that over the chocolates on the table. I didn't combine both as I had prepared my mind beforehand with the question of, how do I want to feel the rest of the day when driving the 2 hours back home? And I answered my own question. Here's what I can promise you won't last. Setting resolutions or goals out of shame, blame, and an urgency to get to your goal so that you can feel better. Every time I've mentored a new group through the Feel Light program, I've learned more, and that's a beautiful thing. Every day of life, with every obstacle and in every experience, we are evolving. So in this round, one thing I'm going to be more intentional for everyone to do is to celebrate their little wins. We already do that, but the value in doing it more often allows us to feel lighter along the way. Those little wins, especially when acknowledged and celebrated, makes the big win inevitable. There will be foreseeable and unforeseeable obstacles. We don't ignore them or pretend they won't come up. We embrace them, and together I help you strategize and visualize how you want to think, feel, and act as you embrace the obstacle. You'll have a place to practice with support what you're learning. Obstacles aren't limited to external circumstances. They are also internal from your pre-programming and habits that you have strengthened over the years. One of those patterns might be giving up the day after perfect. Too often, we go into these New Year's resolutions or goals with the expectation that we will follow through perfectly. All the discipline and willpower in the world will not produce perfection. That is, as long as we have a human brain. From my experience and training, it's what we think, feel, and do after that moment of not following through with what we planned on or missing a day that determines our success. We explore the triggers that have left you feeling derailed in the past. We prepare you ahead of time with the 3 core values for permanent weight loss success: honesty, kindness, and celebration. I'm looking forward to sharing more in the free 1-hour session happening this week and next week. You have to register to save your spot. And again, you can find this in this episode's description. Until then, celebrate your next win, no matter what size, and smile. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women. And that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.